In this package, Senate speedily passes National Minimum Wage Bill. Governor Moino declares Open Association of Nigeria Public Administrators Conference bestowed as Distinguished Fellow of Association. Akwa Ibom government procures 24,000 bags of rice to complement federal government's palliatives. And PDP stakeholders in Abak Zone chairmanship to meet up clan. Details shortly. A very good morning to you and welcome to AKBC 45 News. I am Eyageno Paul. The Senate has speedily passed the National Minimum Wage Bill, the bill which scaled the first, second and third readings just minutes after it was transmitted by President Bola Tinubu, was instantly passed by the upper chamber in a unanimous vote after a close consideration in the Committee of the Whole. The National Minimum Wage Bill scaled third reading and was passed. It would be recalled that President Tinubu and the organized labor Thursday agreed on the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has declared open the 4th Annual International Conference of the Association of Nigeria Public Administrators, holding at the Akwa Ibom State University, Obiokpa Campus, Oroganam. The conference, which has the theme Public Administration and Antidote to Socio-Economic Crisis in Nigeria, also featured the investiture of Governor Moino as a Distinguished Fellow of the Association among other dignitaries.
The Vice Chancellor of Akwa Ibom State University, Professor Nsesien, described the theme as timely, pointing out that Nigeria was at the brink of becoming a collapsed state. He urged associations to make its voice heard, sponsor vital bills, and profess solutions to nagging issues.
Do less of conferences, do more of advocacy. Talk, Nigerians will back you up. So let me especially thank you. I am very sure that at the end of today's conference, which will end tomorrow, you will come up with insights into how we can solve Nigerian problems.
The chairman on the occasion, Professor Emmanuel Ejere, who spoke on the need for the government to provide necessary security for the citizenry, said the primary task before participants at the conference was to consider the prospects of government using the public administration as a tool to solve the myriad of socio-economic problems confronting Nigeria.
The theme of this conference is quite apt, because it's coming at a time of serious socio-economic crisis and challenges in our country.
In a keynote address, Professor Henry Alakwiki of the University of Port Harcourt called for the insulation of public administration from a polluted and structurally compromised political governance system to promote accountability and transparency in the system. He advocated improvement in leadership recruitment and a guarantee of free, fair, credible elections.
Everywhere in the world, in any government, in any society, public administration or the public service is the vehicle, is the tool, the agency that implements government policies, programs. Right. So if you want to succeed, you just have to ensure that public administration and the public service is giving all the necessary support by government, by the funding, without interference.
Presenting the lead paper at the conference, Professor Celestin Bassi of the University of Calabar, who dwelt on security sector governance and sustainable development in Nigeria, stated that strengthening the capacity of a society to manage conflict without violence is a foundation for sustainable development. Professor Hilary Yang, who spoke on agile management system as an imperative for national sustainable development, noted that the capacity to extract the intellect of citizens to produce goods and services for sale is what separates one country from another.
There are 6 main intervention areas that any country that wants to provide goods and services for its citizenry in terms of jobs, in terms of environmental sustainability, in terms of social equity, in terms of population management.
Members of the association, lawmakers, and some members of the State Executive Council were also decorated as fellows of the association.
Work is to resume August 2024 at the State Industrial Park, located in Itam, its local government area. Governor Moino made the disclosure during an inspection to the site Monday. According to him, a committee headed by the Secretary to the government, Prince Enobowa, who is also overseeing the Ministry of Special Duties, is to supervise the project. A Government House reporter, Patience John, tells us more.
During the tour of the industrial park, Governor Moino, while speaking with Government House reporters, said he was at the park to have a first-hand information and comparing notes with the submission by the consultant and announced commencement of work at the park next month.
I came here today to see for myself the site. You know, there was a time I came here we had to demolish. We've set up a committee made up of all of the ministries that have things to do here, headed by the Secretary to Government, who is also overseeing the Special Duty Ministry for now. Let me link what is on the plan that have been put together by a consultant to the physical structure on the ground.
Governor said he will continue with incomplete projects initiated by previous administrations that align with his Arise agenda.
There's need to keep interpreting our Arise agenda, the vision, and one of it was to work on this industrial park, get it facilitated, get power here, get water here. Once we do that, we can concentrate development in one area that has been earmarked not by my administration, by long administration. I think the administration of Architect Obong Victor Atta. And for me, all of these things are just to look into the books and see how to actualize the vision of our founding fathers that falls in line with our own vision.
Patience John, AKBC News.
Akwa Ibom State government has added 24,000 bags of rice to the ones procured by the federal government to curb economic hardship in the state. The initiative, according to the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fion, is to reach families with much needed support. Yours truly reports that the news briefing, which held at Press Center Information Drive, was attended by some members of the State Executive Council and elder statesmen. Dr. Fion, who noted that the state is currently facing a significant developmental challenge, which is hunger caused by food insufficiency, unavailability, and inflation, said this hunger is the reason Governor Moino provided the rice to be shared to the vulnerable in all the communities of the state. Dr. Ford said the governor believes that times like these require creative thinking and taking responsibility rather than indulging in blame games, which can only worsen the situation, thereby augmenting the federal government donation by adding 24,000 bags of 25 kg rice to the federal government 24,000 bags of the same quantity of rice. The commissioner added that Governor Moino has expressed his profound appreciation to the federal government for their care and responsiveness during this critical time, highlighting the alignment with the current struggles faced by other citizens. She said each of the 2,272 gazetted villages in the state will receive 20 bags of the rice, saying this is a temporary measure to curb hunger and advised everyone to go back to farm. She hinted that the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has implemented several strategic interventions, including distributing cassava cuttings, maize grains, pepper seedlings, and coconut seedlings to 135 public primary and secondary schools, distribution of 15,000 cocoa seedlings to cocoa farmers, 40,000 oil palm seedlings to oil palm farmers, 80,000 pepper seedlings to vegetable farmers, 20 metric tons of rice seeds shade to rice farmers across the state, and livestock and poultry supplies to poultry farmers. The ministry, according to her, has provided livelihood grants of 150,000 to 1,560 beneficiaries and agricultural input and services to 900 farmers under the AKK scheme.
The governor has decided to augment the federal government donation of rice by adding 24,000 bags to their 24,000 bags of 25 kg rice. This initiative aims to reach more families with the much needed support.
The Commissioner for Information, Comrade Nemerabong, said the distribution from the federal and state governments of food intervention will occur at local government council headquarters, from where council chairman will ensure the safe transportation of 20 bags to each gazetted village, saying the distribution date will be announced soon.
Palliative economy is not sustainable, but it is an intervention that must keep people alive, because while hunger is an existential issue, it is both in the short, medium, and long term. There is never a time that hunger will be exterminated.
The Commissioner for Economic Development, Mr. Membob, and the Chairman Bulk Purchase Agency, Obong Danakban, spoke on the different phases of AKK's project and the provision of assistance to the vulnerable by the state government.
The implementation of AKK, we are done with phase 1, we are done with phase 2. Then last week, His Excellency, who graciously approved the implementation of phase 3.
But our governor, being a passionate governor, came with this vision and said people should look at those who cannot fend for themselves.
The speakers also fielded in questions by journalists on grazing law, road maintenance, and the state's housing project outside the state.
And as a ministry, we also send out our people to go see the farms that civil servants have. If you remember, one of those that was an rice ambassador was a civil servant that was decorated during the first anniversary.
An intervention to cure extreme hunger. So it is for those who are within the bracket. It's not for the rich. It's not for commissioners. In fact, it's not even for journalists. It is for those who are suffering from extreme hunger.
Paul, AKBC News. Semua Agricultural Limited is collaborating with Sahel Consulting Agricultural and Nutritional Limited, Abuja, is embarked on a demand trial harvest of cassava species planted last year to ascertain the yield. The planting experiment as well as its harvest was carried out at the Faculty of Agriculture Field, University of Uyo, as Esther Morin reports.
Cassava species experimented were P7, P11, P15, Obasanjo 2, Baba 70, TME 419, and Game Changer. According to a seed system specialist, Dr. Mercy Debiro Ojo, who also presented an overview of the project, noted that the aim of the demand creation trial is to help them ensure that different cassava species are bred for different market specifications for profit maximization.
We come together, we put together a package, Agric is no longer silos. We're not working in silos. Seed packaging, I'm glad we have the Sedenta team here. They've done wonderfully well in weed management. In cassava, 60% of your management is weed management. If you don't get it right, you are losing it. Forget it. So we are not even coming here to come and preach only variety. We are not coming here to preach only the clean seed. We are coming here to preach the complete package.
The Chief Executive Officer, Semua Agricultural Limited, Mrs. Caroline Udom, appreciated the management of the University of Uyo for creating an enabling environment for the project to thrive. Mrs. Udom thanks all partners of the project for contributing to its success while urging students to key into agriculture as a productive venture.
I thank you all for honoring us with your presence. We're so delighted to have you all here today. I can assure you that without your support, we will not be here.
The Vice-Chancellor, University of Uyo, Professor Yaudon Dayo, represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academics, Professor Antonia Essien, describes the project as a welcome development as it will help curb hunger in the land and boost food security, while the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Ofiong Ofo, noted that the project is in tune with Governor Moeno's Rice agenda.
So what is being done today is to encourage all of us to be in agriculture. As we gather today for this great event of DCT Harvest and Farmers Field Day, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to welcome all of us and to ask us to take great opportunity that we have today.
I thank IITA for what they are doing and what is the emphasis of His Excellency now. In the Arise Agenda, agri-revolution comes as a R represents rural development and the rest of the acronyms of the Arise, all geared towards developing the state.
The Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Uyo, Professor Etamefyong, as well as some alumni of the faculty, appreciated partners for bringing the project to university while appealing to the state government to create employment opportunities for agric students of the institution as they are well trained for productivity.
We developed MOU, and today I want to tell you that the MOU was well arranged. It shows so much decency. We have placed everything on the paper, and you all respected every details of that MOU.
On-farm training offers students hands-on experience in cassava cultivation, multiplication, and letting us, the students, to acquire practical skills, gaining expertise in cassava planting, maintenance, harvesting, and processing.
IITA, Sahel Consulting, Semua, you have worked with us. You have seen our potentials. You know that UNUYO is not just producing students with certificates, but they are producing students that are recommendable.
Esther Umorin, AKBC News.
And still to come, 2024 Women Convention of the Mount Horeb Ministries. Ifeanyi Korokpunuyo rounded off PDP stakeholders in a back zone chairmanship to Midam Clan. We'll take more stories after the break. Please stay.
Everything you go through in life is preparing you for your next assignment. My father was a police officer, so I lived in the barracks. A barracks like a mini in Nigeria, you know, you find everybody there. My dad's salary, of course, couldn't meet the family income, so I had to sell soft drinks for my mother so that we can make up the family income. I used to take soft drinks from our home and I'll go to the airport and sell. It was fun. I didn't know I was going to ever get into hotel business. So eventually, my coke hawking helped me later in life when I started running my hotel. Those little things you did became building blocks for my later days in life. And you know what? My house was built on the same street I used to go through to hawk. And so everybody that saw me hawk this soft drinks for my mother when I bought a land there and built my house. All of those people were still alive. It's like, some of them had to break their children. Look at me mentor these kids. Today, when I drive around the streets, sometimes you find people sell and you stop by. I just remember, it used to be like this. That hawking has helped me today to be able to serve the people. Accept the things you can't change and change the things you can, and ensure that you just have the fear of God in you. I think the only person that can stop you from achieving what God has set out for you is you.
Akwa Ibom is rising.
It's good to have you back. The 2024 Women Convention of the Mount Horeb Ministries, also known as the Glory of Zion, has been rounded off in Ifai Korokbon, Uyo local government area with a Thanksgiving service. Bishop Samuel Wilson Egbo, General Overseer of the field, and other clerics ministered at the 3-day event, which was on the theme The Fruitful Woman. The reports.
Bishop Egbo, who spoke on the topic Be Faithful to the End, alluded to the story of Naomi and her 2 daughters-in-law, Ruth and Oprah, in the Bible. He said Ruth's faithfulness to the end earned her a place in the lineage of Christ and urged the women to look beyond whatever adversity is facing them, since tough times don't last forever.
Yes, sir. Ruth was not disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
In a welcome address, the president of the Women's Fellowship, Evangelist Uduak Ekong, said the annual convention, which featured Bible study, prayers, exhortation, hymns, is designed to enrich the spiritual lives of the members.
This year's convention is so significant because it is a month of double portion, which automatically makes everyone know his or her place in God's kingdom. That is to say, we as members of God's kingdom and beneficiaries of his double blessings are kings.
The women presented songs, recitation, news on major global events and activities of the church, as well as draw your sword drill, where participants exhibited their knowledge of the Bible.
Particularly in our ruling, the Trump operator said that because Special Counsel Judge Smith was not named to the provision of by the Senate, that his role was in violation of the appointment clause of the Constitution.
The convention also featured I Know My Husband, Nothing of Ties by Women, testimonies, I Know My Bishop, fashion parade, and cooking competition. The wife of the General Overseer, Senior Evangelist Elizabeth Egbo, and the Secretary of the Women's Fellowship, Mrs. Blessing Murphy, bared their minds on the spiritual benefits of the convention in an interview with AKBC 45 News.
The very key point is that a virtuous woman, a dutiful woman, does not look at the weather. A supportive woman must use her hands to work things out to support the husband in the house, and the children wouldn't feel hunger.
As a woman, you must learn to use your hand to do something. You should not be idle. You must learn to support your husband, support your household. You must learn to respect your husband. You are the crown to your husband.
Sequel to Governor Moino's decision to zone Abakaliki government's chairmanship position to Midam clan, traditional rulers from the area have charged all aspirants and supporters to maintain a peaceful atmosphere in the selection process to have a credible candidate to fill the position. They gave the charge during a town hall meeting attended by stakeholders, men, women, and youths of Midam, warning that conflict of interest should not mar the existing peace experienced in the state. Margaret Bassey reports.
Speaking on behalf of the traditional rulers, the clan head-elect of Midam, Dr. Sylvester Ibanga, harped on a peaceful, free, fair, credible, transparent and verifiable selection process devoid of rancor, violence, chaos, and breach of public peace, while acknowledging the contributive efforts of all political office holders which have seen to the well-organized and peaceful society. Dr. Ibanga encouraged the strengthening of the democratic process for a peaceful and legitimate transfer of power. He warned that any culprits found breaching the existing peace or destroying lives and properties will be dealt with decisively according to the law.
And we will have to deal with that person decisively.
An illustrious son of Midam and Provost, Federal School of Medical Laboratory Science and Technology, JOS, Professor Nkeruwem Etogudo, charged indigents and residents of Midam to resist any attempts to cause disharmony and disaffection within all ranks, but build up the ideals of President Bola Tinubu, Governor Moino, and other public office holders aimed at ensuring the development and advancement of democracy, thereby turning the state to an industrial hub. He thanked the Senate President Godswill Akpabio for introducing the Federal College of Medical Laboratory Science and Technology, which was directed to the Federal House of Representatives, solicited that the President should sign the bill into an act for the establishment of the school in Midam, Abak local government area, to enable employable opportunities to youths of Akwa Ibom State. He commended Governor Moino for zoning the chairmanship position to Midam, advising anyone that will emerge to align with the Arise agenda of the governor, as well prioritize the interests of the people.
We are peaceful people. That was why this meeting was called, to admonish them that they should see themselves as brothers, sisters and kinsmen. Everything should be done peacefully, and the chairman should also reflect what the governor is doing in Akwa Ibom State that has to do with the Arise agenda.
Any other person. Sili la ki son ida ina mutum you moino ye Fabio ye President Tinubu so that midway group fund Holy Ghost.
Others who spoke were of the opinion that the chairmanship seat should be a legitimate transition and consolidation of democracy where people can have their voices heard through their votes.
It should be somebody that will carry everybody along, to respect the government of the day, not to bring problems to the community. I so support this standard.
Thank God for this, and we are very glad. The whole thing is going to be peaceful.
Midam has always been very, very peaceful. And with this, I think the whole of the world is going to come in.
Margaret Bassey, AKBC News.
Families, friends and sympathizers turned up in their numbers weekend to bid a final farewell to the late Deaconess Atameyo of Okobo Ebugu in Bo local government area. The funeral service, which was conducted by Christ Life Gospel Church, Eyotong Road, held at Government School, Ikwitaron. Again, Esther Morin completes the reports.
When we talk of Christ Life,
Auntie was a prayer warrior. You can never miss her in our tarry night. No matter what, even if she's ill, she will make sure that she comes with her mat and lie in the church and pray along.
She was religious, but she born into Methodist church. And because of that, anything we see her there. Madam, when we gather here, live a successful, meaningful, and prosperous.
Those were representatives of the family, village, and church who all spoke glowingly about the deceased. The superintendent pastor, Christ Life Gospel Church, Oron, Reverend S.D. Antai, who preached on the topic, where there is no wisdom, people perish, urged all to eschew all distractions that would hinder them from gaining salvation from God.
You didn't know a time you come to this world. And likely you will not even know the time you are going to do this world. We are short of limitations. We are short of powers. We are short of energy. We are just human. Because whatever will cause the entire body to go to hell, please, Jesus is saying, please cut it off. For it is better. For it is better for you to go into life eternal.
In a biography gently read by the granddaughters, the deceased was described as a devout Christian who served God zealously in various capacities. She was further described as a compassionate, hardworking woman who played significant roles in supporting her family.
She was a good, dedicated, loving, understandable, and sacrificial mother to her. A mother who labored and lived to ensure that her children and status higher than her. A mother indeed, an advisor, a disciplinarian, nurse, a cover of existing gaps, gave stable and enduring empowerment for her children.
The funeral service featured songs by different choral groups, hymns, thanksgiving by the bereaved family, and prayers for the family.
They will live long without sickness. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. All those occasions that the mother encountered in life, they shall not see that. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ.
The remains of the late Deaconess Atameyo Obia were committed to Mother Earth in her hometown, Okoboibugu, Mbo local government area. Some family members had this to say about the late Deaconess Atameyo Obia.
She was a woman that had not only the hope of this life, but the hope of eternal life.
Esther Umorin, AKBC News.
That's the package this morning, but before we get another look at the top stories. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has declared open the 4th annual International Conference of the Association of Nigeria Public Administrators, holding at the Akwa Ibom State University, Obiokpa campus, Oroganam. The conference, which has the theme Public Administration and Antidote to Socio-Economic Crisis in Nigeria, also featured the investiture of Governor Moino as a distinguished fellow of the association among other dignitaries. We also brought you a report that the 2024 Women Convention of the Mount Horeb Ministries, also known as the Glory of Zion, has been rounded off in Ifai-Korokbono, local government area, with a Thanksgiving service. Bishop Samuel Wilson Egbo, General Overseer of the field, and other clerics ministered at the 3-day event, which was on the theme, The Faithful Woman. That's the package. We thank you so very much for being with us. We urge you to stay tuned to the rest of our programs. Good morning.